welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy at the request of Patreon subscriber Emily, and this is Uro-Nought. This is inspired by a deck I played over a year ago at this point. That league encouraged by Patreon subscriber and Twitch streamer Harain, who's known for his Dreadnought builds. Emily wanted me to revisit Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath in a Phyrexian Dreadnought shell. The appeal here is that Phyrexian Dreadnought, the joke here is, if you can stop its enters the battlefield trigger from happening via Doorkeeper Thrall, Dress Down, Stifle, Consign to Memory, anything like that, you get a 12/12 for 1 mana. But Uro also has an enters the battlefield trigger, which kills it. It does other stuff too. Gaining 3 life, drawing a card is sometimes worth more than a 6/6 body. But also sometimes cheesing out a 6/6 body way ahead of schedule is really good too. And if the Dreadnought thing isn't working, like you just don't have a Thrall or you don't have a Dress Down, Uro is a fine Magic card to grind away in fair matchups with. I've made some updates since the last time I played the deck. Last time I was really in on Stifle, Wasteland, Mana Denial. There were 4 copies of Daze in this deck, 4 copies of Stifle, 4 copies of Wasteland. I'm on 0 Daze, 2 Stifle, 3 Wasteland now, trying to play a little more to the mid-range. I've also now included 2 Urza Saga as ways to tutor Ghost Vacuum, Soul Guide Lantern, and of course Phyrexian Dreadnought. We're just in a metagame now where attacking the graveyard in game 1's really important. I added a Null Drifter to the deck now that we're not a Turbo Tempo Stifle Wasteland Daze strategy. Another way to spend 3 mana, another way to cash out a Doorkeeper Thrall. Uro is already kind of occupying the space that Null Drifter would occupy in a list that wasn't playing Uro. So I'm not crazy here, but having one of them is pretty dope. And I borrowed some technology from Harain's current Ancient Tomb Dreadnought build, which is Minor Misstep. The wisdom of Minor Misstep in these builds is that if you're taking your time to set up a good Dreadnought, like if you cast Doorkeeper Thrall on turn 2 and then Dreadnought on turn 3, by then your opponent's Swords to Plowshares or Fatal Push, they can pay for something like Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm because it's turn 3 and they have the extra mana kicking around. Minor Misstep stays relevant on those clutch spells until the end of the game. It doesn't matter whether your Dreadnought happens on turn 2 or turn 10. Minor Misstep will protect it from cards like Push and Plow. But also this format is defined by Thoughtseize, Dark Ritual, Reanimate. There's even Pact of Negations flying around in this format. There's plenty of targets for Minor Misstep, and this is a cool card that got a lot of heat when it first came out and has kind of faded out of the Legacy scene, but if there's a spot for it, it could be this deck. That's what's going on. Those are my reasons for the cards I've played. Let's do it. This is Uro Dreadnought. I'm on the draw in round 1. I'm going to keep my hand. Island Ponder, baby. I have multiple shots at Dreadnought here. I have the Urza Saga that can pop into Dreadnought. And the turn before Saga pops, I can Dress Down. If my opponent interacts with it, I can then Dress Down again in my upkeep, and multiple bullets to fire at this Dreadnought. Windswept Teeth for basic forest for Ignoble Hierarch. This is probably Cradle Control. There's just not a lot of decks that would do these things. I would like to get this Saga going to apply pressure. Prismatic Ending might just miss next turn. Drawing Forcible gives me a lot of comfort. I'm going to go for this. Urza Saga doesn't tap for colors, so if my opponent plays White of the Reliquary or something here, that will be something I'm going to have trouble interacting with. Okay. That is the best card in their deck. So I'm going to force pitching a Dress Down. I don't think this deck's going to interact with my Dress Down. I think we're safe. All right, White of the Reliquary. Dealing with that also nerfs Cradle, if that was going to be their land drop. Okay, Bajuka Bog, you got me. All right, so my plan here, oh, sick. We're just running Force of Wills like crazy. My plan here is to Prismatic Ending the Ignoble Hierarch, and then Dress Down in my next upkeep. poop out a Dreadnought. Tundra, Ending. And they saw me pitch a dress down last turn, which is a sign that I probably have another one. If they recognize that what I'm doing is Dreadnought and not like Cephalid Breakfast or some other Tundra Saga deck. But Cephalid Breakfast probably would not have dress down in it at all. Sometimes these decks have Wasteland, they usually have Beseiju. There is some stuff that could still go wrong. Talon Gates. I like seeing that spent before my Dreadnought's in play. Sick. Alright, they're phasing out their own Reclaimer, so I can't mess with it. Another Reclaimer. Alright, Dubs Reclaimers. Okay, I will draw for turn, see what happens here. I do like a land. Dress down. I get to draw a card. Oh yeah, double Dreadnought. Incoming. Here's one. Fetch for probably Savannah. That does reveal that I have green cards in my deck, but I mean, I do have green cards in my deck. Maybe I will just get the Tundra. The green card is literally Uro. And if I could tell a different story while also, like Savannah doesn't cast the cantrips in my hand. Okay, Force of Will is up. Beats are coming. They do have double Elvish Reclaimer in play though. That's a lot of movement. One land in the graveyard. And they're just dead. Alright, sweet. Sometimes it comes together like that. Alright, Cradle Control. I like Wrath of the Skies. I like Clarion Conqueror. I like Grafdigger's Cage. That's probably about it. Meddling Mage. I could name... I mean, they have a bunch of different diverse things I might want to name with this, and it would all be hyper-contextual. I'm probably not interested in that. I definitely don't need Ghost Vacuum or Soul Guide Lantern, and the Cage is coming in as an object for Urza Saga to grab. Minor Misstep hits most of the cards in their deck. That's pretty sweet. Stifle's great against them. Dress Down has a bunch of passive use against them. I don't need all 20 lands in. They might have one or two Wastelands in their Lands Tutor package. I could cut a Wasteland or I could cut Island. I think I would rather cut Wasteland if I'm cutting one land. I like things that impact the board. The Plow, the Ending, the Brazen Borrower, all good stuff. Uh-oh. It seems like Magic Online is struggling a little. I'm recording this immediately after downtime. I hope this resolves itself. I'll bring you back if it does. Magic Online just tweeted they'll have an update in 30 minutes. So this match is probably going to get wiped out, and maybe I'll leave it in the video, maybe I won't. We did play a sweet game. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. We are back from the unscheduled Magic Online downtime. Last round was not canceled out in my league, and it says I won 2-0, probably because my opponent was on the play and timed out while it was waiting for them to mulligan, while nobody could log in. We're going to have to count that one until further notice. On the play for round 2, no mana that works. I'm going to mulligan. I don't love this. What I do like is that the Ghost Vacuum cancels out needing a blue card for Force of Will, because most of the decks I'd need to force check this quickly, Ghost Vacuum works against. I am going to try this. I have Plow and Wasteland that can play kind of normal Magic if that's what it's about, and I have Ghost Vacuum if they're a naughty sicko who needs to be checked on turn 1. There's no Surveillance in this deck. That's mostly by design, because it's generally a pretty mana tight situation. Like, the tap land might not actually be worth it. Though, of course, I'd love a Hedge Maze in this particular spot, but like last game where I ripped the Dreadnought and was able to double Dreadnought, that doesn't work if that's a tap land. Once Upon a Time for Yavimaya, so this could be some sort of Depths or lands or Eldrazi. Alright, it's lands. They do use their graveyard a little bit on certain lines. Life from the Loam being a big part of that situation. Oh yeah, the double exploration. The cool thing about double exploration, though, is that without Life from the Loam, Where are they going to play 3 lands a turn from? Where do they come from? Nowhere. They don't exist. I think I'm going to park this Wasteland in play to make sure I don't get Merit Laged, and then just pass. If they could copy a Urza's Saga with Thespian Stage, that's kind of annoying, but I am a deck with 4 dress downs. I'm above average at dealing with that. And although I'm on a super awkward Malta 6, these are Wasteland and Ghost Vacuum are kind of a 1-2 punch that makes it so none of this even works. Okay, Malevolent Rumble milled a Once Upon a Time in a Rumble, and they're deciding between Exploration number 3 and Tabernacle to put in their hand. They took Tabernacle, which if they play, now they have to pay for the Eldrazi spawn. Okay, deal. Guess that's fine. And this is a position where someone who doesn't play much Legacy might become worried. But knowing what lands needs to do to actually win a game, I'm not that concerned right now. Okay, there's a crop rotation in response to Ghost Vacuum being... Or no, it's not crop rotation. They're Besageing it, sure. All right, well, I can't interact with that. Now I'm a little worried, because if they start loaming, life gets really hard. I'll grab a Trop. Ponder, Brainstorm. I think I'd rather Ponder here, because I like most of the cards in my hand. I'm not trying to brainstorm them away. Minor Misstep, Dreadnought. Minor Misstep is cool because it checks crop rotation. I probably don't want that Dreadnought, though. Opponent just realized they're playing against me and said, "Hi, YouTube." Everyone say hi to Gunham. All right. Got to pay for the spawn, using the Tabernacle to do it. Good stuff. All right. Please don't cast Life from Wallow. I'm now worried again. Okay, they're using Stage to copy my Wasteland. I could waste their Stage in response, but then that makes their theoretical Life from the Loam a lot scarier. And if they waste me with their Thespian Stage, that's a stage they don't have to copy Depths, which is what I mostly want the Wasteland for. I'm going to turn on Hardcast Force rather than Brainstorm here. That may or may not make any sense, but it's what's happened. Ancient Tomb from hand. 2 cards over there. All right, here's Wasteland targeting Wasteland. I'll respond by wasting, I guess, Mazavith, and then get obliterated by Life from the Loam. All right, crop rotation. That one, I kept this card on purpose to tangle with. 1 card left. Please don't be Life from the Loam. They passed the turn. Okay. I didn't get loamed into oblivion. There is a Soul Guide Lantern in my deck. All right. Brainstorm. It's time. Dress down Dreadnought. I mean, I could ram that into play. How do I want to do this? I can get a draw. If I put back Plow and Ending, fetch, dress down Dreadnought. If I rip a blue card for Force of Will, that's action. Or I could keep the Plow or Ending for Merit Lage, which they're currently 2 pieces away from with 1 card in their hand. I can't stop Besageing from happening anyway. I think I'm going to go for the dress down high roll here. Fetch for Tropical Island. Dress down. And I'm looking for a blue card or another Dreadnought on this draw trigger. We did it, gamers. Okay, here's Phyrexian Dreadnought. That's why I went after the Mazavith with my Wasteland last turn. They have a number of ways to brick this thing without casting a spell, but I'm going to hope that they don't have them right away. All right, they just passed the turn. I like it. I like it a lot. Pay for Dreadnought. Island. All right, now I can hardcast Force. And Uro's my whole backup plan, so having this Force up for mana is pretty nice. Okay, that's a full turn cycle where nothing bad happened. They clearly did not have it. If they drop a Mazavith or Beseiju me right now, they just drew it. It's too late for Life from the Loam. I can just counter it. Okay, they've passed back to me. I will pay. Brazen Borrower. I'm now extra covered against Merit Lage. Something's happening. Oh, they had a Beseiju. Brutal. All right. Well, I did not throw Stifle that turn, which is the one that would have got me out of that. But we've got the backup plan. Blue, green. Stack these triggers, so if I draw Stifle, I get to keep it. Didn't draw Stifle. All right, but the backup plan's running. I wonder if they had that Beseiju and took a turn of damage because, like, if they draw Mazavith or something, it's easier. Or if they did actually just rip it. I'm going to force this crop rotation that would likely get Bajuka Bog. Yavimaya from hand. I could have dropped out. Oh, that's so nasty. I could have dropped out the Brazen Borrower and start pushing damage, but I think being able to answer a Merit Lage is worth it. Green, green, blue, blue. There's nothing in my deck that cares about the graveyard, right? Other than Uro. Yeah, nothing's gonna... There's no Mystic Sanctuary, no Snapcaster Mage, no Murktide Regent. I can just exile cards. Uro's on the stack. There is nothing left to fetch with this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fetchables, and every fetchable land is in play art. So I will not put that in. Oh, but there's Yavimaya. Oh no, we're fine. Yeah, I do actually want this. Okay. Soul Guide Lantern, I feel like is gonna slam the door closed here. I'm gonna exile Maze of Ith. And now I don't care about Life from the Loam. I can cast this Brazen Borrower for damage. It will not defeat them this turn anyway, though. Thespian Stage. Okay, now I am going to pump the brakes on Brazen Borrower. If they didn't have the spawn, I think I'd push for it, but they do, so I'm not going to. I am also going to pretend that this Misty Reinforce does anything. I could have just tapped it for the mana to pay for Tabernacle, but I don't want them to have the information of exactly how many lands I play. Okay, so they've blocked with their spawn. And now, with Wasteland up, I don't have to worry about Merit Lage or Maze of Ith anymore. With Soul Guide Lantern up, I don't have to worry about Life from the Loam. Brazen Borrower can be a lethal attack here. If I had dropped out Brazen Borrower 2 turns ago, at the first opportunity, they still would have died this turn. Let's pay the Troll Toll. Okay, sweet. We did it. All right. Game 1 versus lands. Love it. Wrath of the Skies comes in. Meddling Mage, deceptively good against lands. Naming Life from the Loam is a way to remove it from the game, basically. Clarion Conqueror turns off Mox Diamond. I don't think that's enough. Fairy Macabre, Surgical. I probably don't want to Macabre them. I think I do want to Surgical them. Force of Negation is an upgrade over Force of Will because it exiles the Loam. And I don't need this many plows in against them. I'm a Brazen Borrower, Prismatic Ending Wasteland deck. I don't need 4 plows in my deck to respect Merit Lage. And the double dip Graveyard Hate was awesome. I actually needed both of those that game. Or one of them, I guess, checked a box that would have otherwise been bad, but I didn't actually need it. When I was building this deck, I thought about Mox Diamond, Lotus Petal, Shadow Spear, Retrofitter Foundry, Currency Converter, all the normal things. And then I was like, I'm just going to have 2 Graveyard Hate cards. That's what the meta's about. Okay, my opponent's deck doesn't draw cards, but digging for action is maybe interesting to me. Is that better than... What card would I even cut at this point? Nah, I'm in. I like this configuration. This hand is kind of anemic, but I'm not going to mulligan it. I have multiple enablers for my big payoffs, and Brainstorm fixes everything. Mox Diamond, and me without my Clarion Conquerors. The discard a land is not an enters the battlefield ability, so they don't get like free Mox and off Doorkeeper Thrill. Discarded Boseiju, Yavimaya. The double diamond starts pretty sick. Double diamond Loam. Alright, so there's a Boseiju in their hand. We know about that one. This is one of those spots where it would be extremely clutch to just rip Soul Guide Lantern or Surgical and take that Loam out, and then their hand is just gobbledygook. Ponder. Do I want my basic? Probably. I only have the one. I'll get it. And as long as they have Yavimaya, my island is a tropical island. Good enough for me. I would not have cast Brainstorm right now, but I will cast Ponder right now. Crop Rot in response. All right. What are we setting up over here? Urza Saga? Oh, yeah. Dress Down, Phyrexian Dreadnought, Wrath of the Skies. Holy guacamole. Every one of these cards is insane. I will keep the whole stack. Unfortunately, starting on this island means I can't sweep up their entire board with this Wrath next turn. But having Dress Down means I don't really care about constructs. We know they're holding Boseiju, so I can't get too nutty here with the Dreadnought. I'm just going to run out Tundra and see what we can get away with. If they're able to get me in a Waste Lock from here, that's pretty tough. They dredged Loam, hit Dark Depths. So it's Boseiju, Loam, 1 unknown in their hand. If they made the constructs, I'm going to let them tutor before I show them Dress Down. I don't think there's anything they could get that would stop me from dressing down. And if they get Lava Spur Boots, I just get to tax them an extra point. They might just get another Mox Diamond, cast Loam, and then reset up Urza Saga. Or now that there's Adepts in the mix, they might get the Expedition map looking for Stage to go with it. I also have the option here. The Wrath of the Skies on top of my deck kills all the permanents they have. I could just like brainstorm looking for an answer. Okay, there's Saga, Depths, Yavimaya in their hand. So I have this option now. I think I'm going to end step Dress Down, play Dreadnought this turn, and then I have Wrath of the Skies to kill all their shit after they play the Urza Saga back out next turn. Force of Will, we like it. I'm going to brainstorm and see if I can find another Dreadnought here. And I did. Okay. I don't think I need 2 Thralls this game. I don't have to shuffle here either. I think I'm going to put back Thrall and Null Drifter in that order. Oh, they're going to Beseiju me, so a shuffle is going to happen whether I like it or not. All right, 2 Dreadnoughts, let's go. They can Dredge Loam, Beseiju me, cast Loam targeting Beseiju. That's a lot of mana, though. They did not dredge the Loam at all. Force of Vigor. Not in my house. GG, did we do it? Oh yeah, loading up that Dreadnought Cannon. Yeah, finding the second one off that Brainstorm. Both games would have been very different if I had 1 Dreadnought instead of 2. I mean, obviously, 24 damage is more than 12. But if they were able to just Beseiju Loam for a while, pick off Dreadnoughts one at a time, this game is totally different. And using this actual spell into my actual force. Nice. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 3 with a turn 3 sticky Uro. I'm going to keep. This deck also has the massive passive upside of having 10 main deck cards against Thassa's Oracle in the Thrall, the Dress Down, and the Stifles, because everything that puts Dreadnought in takes Oracle out. It's just the same mechanic. This particular situation, if my opponent goes for an Oops All Spells line, doesn't matter because it'll be too slow for me. But Doorkeeper Thrall does have that passive ability to mess up some of the more popular combo decks. Also, reanimating an Archon or an Atraxa is significantly less scary when it doesn't do anything on enter, and then you can just plow it or borrow it, and it's gone. This opponent also said, "Hi, YouTube. Everyone say hi to Roberto Bronco." I'm going to play the Tundra because I need Flooded Strand to get green, and I need white to play Thrall. And I can handle a Wasteland. If my opponent's a Wasteland deck and try to cheese me off here, we could just go another round. I could do this 3 turns in a row before it's a problem. We got a Mishra's Bauble in the chat, deployed before Dragon's Rage Channeler and targeting me. So they don't have Delver or Dragon's Rage Channeler here. They might be using this to decide if they're just going to waste me. Oh, it's something totally different. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. We got someone doing something cool over there. Stalactite Stalker, the Black Delver of Secrets that was quickly invalidated by Nethergoyf. Okay, they descended this turn, which means that gets bigger. Another Thrall. I'm going to play out a Wasteland just in case they're Saga gaming or doing anything like that where I'd want to waste them. Bloodstained Mire is not Wasteland. Not Wastelandable either. It does descend the Stalker, though. This is a 1/1 that gets bigger every end step if a card went into the graveyard, their graveyard this turn. And it has Menache. And for 3 mana, you could sack a Digger creature -1/-, or -X/-X for X is its power. Alright, Doorkeeper Thrall, get in there. Surprise, this is what I'm doing. I'm pretty soft to Fatal Push here. Okay, that's fine. I have room to rebuild, but I am taking a lot of damage from these Stalkers. Not anymore. Okay. I'm going to plow the big one and pass with another Thrall available. Another fetch land. Turns out in Legacy, it's pretty easy to put stuff in your graveyard. Gothy Voidwalker, ick. All right, well, at least I'm not using the graveyard for Uro. They got 3 cards left over there. Fetch. Don't Thoughtseize me, bro. Nethergoyf. All right, that one's fine. I'm going to get to stick in Uro. It might not stick for very long, but it will be in play. All right, Wasteland juiced over here. Tropical Island and Uro with no abilities. I don't get the trigger. I don't gain the life, but Uro is a sticky boy. I won't be blocking with this, so it's going to attack. All right, they got 3 cards in hand, 20 life, some big creatures, but Uro does beat all of these things. A simple Doomblade is bad for me. If they can kill Uro, I'm in trouble. I don't care if they kill Thrall anymore. It's done its job. I'm glad I've drawn every Wasteland in my deck against the opponent on mono black. That's pretty sweet. Can't block. I take 6. All right, we've gone to my turn. A card. All right, I'm gonna attack. If they have an Orcish Bowmaster, they can kill my Doorkeeper Thrall. Oh wait, no, that doesn't get the Enters trigger. Sick. But that is a lot of blocking. I don't like this pause before combat. Don't do stuff. I basically can't beat anything here. Sheoldred's Edict. All right. I'll sacrifice Doorkeeper Thrall. I was strongly considering leaving that back to chump block anyway. All right, Uro, slam in there, buddy. Do your thing. Oh no, it looks like they do have a Bowmaster. Last card in hand. Annoying. Okay, so I go to 8, then to 11, then to 10, and I'm actually dead on board. I need something good out of this Uro draw. That is among the top options I could have drawn. All right, so I'm at 10. Is opponent going to block? They probably shouldn't, would be my guess. Swords to Plowshares. Who is my nemesis here? It's probably Voidwalker. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I go to 1, right? Yeah, they got 2 triggers off of that. I have to take out... Nethergoyf could grow. What's in the void? Doorkeeper Thrall? Alright, I don't need to act now. And I think I will play out an extra Wasteland because I can't brainstorm this game anyway. I can't afford to kill Orcish Bowmasters, and I can't afford not to. Into Turok. Alright. I'm going to plow Gothy Voidwalker in response, and this actually is a huge punish because... Wait, is there a sorcery in their graveyard yet? No. Okay, so Nethergoyf's going to grow here, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I actually have to plow Nethergoyf. Okay, so Wasteland goes into the Void, which is actually a decision to make because they're hitting me for a lot of damage here, but also my Urza Saga's kind of the only thing I have going on. I think they should just attack me with everything. That's what I would do. Ooh, okay. They are going into the Voidwalk. Oh, wait, there's a plow in the Void. Yeah, plowing Uro is pretty freaking good. That's better than Wasteland. All right, yeah, that is correct. Forgot that just ended up there. All right, I'm back to 16, which is a lot, but they are mushing quite a bit. Removal spells? Mr. Reinforced is not it. Okay, Bowmaster can't attack this turn or I trade off with it. But maybe that's fine for them. God, stop! Alright, the never-ending parade of cards that are really good is adding up here. I'm basically dead to everything. Brainstorm, that is not castable because of Orcish Bowmaster. I think I have to get Soul Guide Lantern here. Is there anything that I can actually do? I guess is the important question. If I Brainstorm now, I go to 1. But I have this turn to cast sorceries and stuff. If I don't Brainstorm now, I'm just dead in combat. All right. I am required to Brainstorm. There's no green cards that help me here, so I'm going to tap the Trop. And we're dead. All right. Veil of Summer coming in. Wrath of the Skies coming in. The relentless pummeling of damage did a lot there. Clarion Conqueror. Their creatures aren't really there for activated abilities. And Voidwalker did get to do something out of the Void that game, but that's not really the point. I probably don't want Ghost Vacuum here. Soul Guide is still fine as something I can hit if Saga is not ready for a Dreadnought. And we've seen Nethergoyf. I mostly just want my powerful creatures to come into play and stay there. I'm gonna shave a wasteland. I might just cut 2 wastelands. Can I play this deck with 18 lands? That seems a little risky. I think I need wasteland just to tap for mana. But one can definitely come out. And one more card's gotta go. Null Drifter is a little risky versus discard plus Dothy Voidwalker. If they end up with my Null Drifter, that's tough. But Null Drifter is pretty good otherwise. I could shave a Force of Will, but we are in a matchup where one spell might be the difference. But I'm bringing in 2 Veils, which is almost Force of Will against them. All right, I'm going to roll with this. Okay. Island Ponder. I will keep. I'm going to fetch Tundra. We didn't see any Wastelands out of them game 1, though they do look like a Wasteland deck. I'm still going to fetch Tundra, though, because that's how my hand works. Ponder. Heck yeah, just multiple lands off the Ponder is what I wanted. Now I don't mind if they do Wasteland me. Thoughtseize. Probably takes Brainstorm would be my guess. Uro in the graveyard is almost preferable. Dress Down doesn't do much. I have 2 Thralls. I actually have a 3rd one that they don't know about. I imagine I'm losing Brainstorm here. Correct. Okay, I'm going to fetch now to make sure Opposition Agent doesn't rear its ugly head. Fetch Tropical Island and pass. And that fetches away the 3rd Doorkeeper Thrall that I definitely don't want. Wasteland confirmed. Jam out a Thrall. Stalactite Stalker will become 2/2 quickly. Brazen Bee. Attack. I don't think I'm going to play around Opposition Agent on this one, because if they can waste me off white, that's really bad for me. Wasting 2 of my lands here is annoying, but wasting me off white is terrible. Are they going to take Thrall? Doesn't matter. I might just Brazen Borrow the Stalker and take the pressure off. All right, Petty Theft the Stalker. Now they can take my other Doorkeeper Thrall, I guess. Or they could play around me ripping a land and take Uro. Then I need 2 lands before it works. Dress Down, removed. Another Wasteland is annoying. I'm not under any pressure, though. If I can hit a land drop or 2. I had a Life from the Loam in the sideboard at one point. Dang. Which would obliterate a matchup like this one, but isn't that important in the format at large? All right, how about don't have 3 Wastelands? Gordon Catacomb, not a Wasteland. We did it. We played around it. Could get him to Taract here. Stalker with the trigger ready. Multi-stalking. The multi-stalker bonus. You hate to see it. I'm going to fetch Tundra, play out the other Thrall, and hope I draw a land right now. Or a Phyrexian Dreadnought. Hell yeah. Savannah. That's so they can't waste me off any colors. Stick this thing while the getting's good. Now discard spells are bad. Okay, moment of truth. Are they ready for Uro? They've seen it twice. Should be. But they need to get Revolt before Fatal Push kills it. Edict doesn't kill it here. Alright, we're just slugging it out. They're attacking for 7. I'm attacking for 8 and gaining 3 a turn. I am winning the race. Ooh, that polluted Delta showed up. That's bad. Okay, tap land's fine. Now they're attacking for 9 a turn, and I'm attacking for 8, but I'm gaining 3. And I have Brazen Borrower. All right, here we go. Big swings. Wow, that was a good hit. All right, I've got a cheeky removal spell ready to go. There's nothing currently in the void. I've got a lethal attacker ready to go. I feel good here. They would need something pretty serious. If I'm going to cast Plow, it has to target Voidwalker, though. If I Plow a Stalker, then they can Plow Uro. All right, cool. Got to be on the draw for a game. They definitely have Wastelands. Not that I had any doubt, but we've seen them. I don't think anything changes here. This is just the cards that I have that are good in the matchup. The 4 Force of Wills on the draw, maybe I'm more inclined to have one, but if they're going to be picking me apart with Thoughtseizes and stuff, I don't really care. Okay, let's go. I could bring in Meddling Mage just as another body. Name something like Bowmaster or whatever. Oh, I'd love this hand on the play. I'm not going to mull it, but it's so much better on the play before Thoughtseize kicks in. But if they go Stalactite, Muncher, and then Hymn Me, I'm ready. Both Urza Sagas I play. They mull to 6. I'll take it. Another Goyf. All right, cool. That's the least scary thing they can do with 1 mana. That's a pretty scary thing to do with 1 mana. I like that. I have to respect Wasteland really bad here. Him to Turok me. Him to Turok me. Shit. Okay. I think this has to be fine. Like, fetching to avoid my fetch lane going into the void is something to consider, but not really. Oh, nice. I did not actually want to play out Urza Saga here if I didn't have to, and now I don't. Okay, they get to attack for 4. I can set up over multiple turns here. Dress down Dreadnought, protected with Veil. I could do that now. I could just end step Dress down. Losing the opposition agent would be the worst. All right, I'm not playing around that. Okay, fetch Tropical Island, and then fetch Tundra. Maybe that should have been Savannah because white's so important. End step Dress down. Black is not well known for its ability to kill enchantments. Prismatic Ending, cool. Okay, Urza Saga comes in. I can Prismatic End this Nethergoyf now while this will end up in the void. Or won't end up in the void. Dreadnought. Using Prismatic Ending, it makes Edicts better. I can beat Fatal Push anyway. Like, I could have flashed in Doorkeeper Thrall to beat an Edict. Okay, I have 2 cards in my graveyard, in case that matters. Their creatures have abilities again. Bitter Triumph. That targets. And they paid 3 life for the pleasure. This will put Veil of Summer into the void, but hopefully it won't matter. Okay, fetching now. Undercity Sewer. Let's hope this is a clutch interaction that they end up reeling from and can't come back. Kept the card on top with the Surveil, though. Not a good sign. In the black deck full of removal. Alright, Fatal Push. I got a good exchange, though. I'll take it. I'm still at 13. Saga's ticking up. Multiple Sagas ticking up. Doorkeeper Thrall can push the next Dreadnought in. I'll probably Petty Theft a Voidwalker this turn. Okay, so Doorkeeper Thrall come out, stuff this Enters trigger. And I think I want to just Petty Theft Voidwalker right now while they're tapped out and can't Veil of Summer or anything. Okay. 3 cards in hand, one of them's Dauthi Voidwalker. Barrogoyf. That's smaller than Dreadnought, but still pretty scary. Swords to Plowshares. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just shout it out. It's always there. Right, I'm going to make a Construct and then tutor a Dreadnought and play Flooded Strand and plow their Barrogoyf. That's the thing I'm scared of here. Attack for 1. Turn this Tide. I'm not going to cast Ponder and let their Bowmaster do anything. Right now, it's just a 1-1 with Flash. There's another Dreadnought coming next turn. Feed the Swarm. All right, yeah. Losing 1 life off that's not a bad deal. All right, big draws. Ponder. Construct. Maybe I wasn't supposed to make a Construct there, because if they kill Doorkeeper Thrall right now, I get stuffed. What would they have, though? Like, what would have to be in their hand? Like, they would have had to perfectly draw exactly Fatal Push on the last turn cycle for that to matter. All right, yeah, I don't feel bad about that. And not just because I got away with it. They're going to have to decide how much damage they want to save with this Bowmaster, because it could turn on cantrips from my hand. Right, they still want it around. This is probably just a Surveil land in their deck. I don't expect them to actually have blue cards. Oh, Barrogoyf's among the best. They do have to block with it here, though. Ooh. That's really good against Bowmaster shit. All right. Or Bowmaster's good against it. Okay, so time for basic combat math. If I attack with everything, that's 19 damage. If they block the Dreadnought, they gain 6 and I trample 5, so they gain 1 off of this battle. So they're at 14, and there's still all these other things. If they block Construct Token, they gain 6 up to 19, and I still get some other damage through. But then I can't really tangle with Barrogoyf. I don't really need to tangle with Barrogoyf, because I can chump block it with Doorkeeper Thrall. All right, yeah, I'm going to attack with everything. Send it. Math is for blockers. Yeah, if their Barrogoyf is just a 3-mana removal spell for Phyrexian Dreadnought, I have to be totally okay with that, given the board state otherwise. Yes, yes, please block with that Bowmaster. Let's fucking go. All right, that rules. Now I can slam a Nully. Nully, 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 Nully. Cast with Evoke. Don't mind if I do. Ka-chow. Wasteland? There's not a lot of targets. I'll take the one I can get. Their hand is Dothy Voidwalker, 2 unknowns. Yeah, they just said the Bowmaster block wasn't necessary. I mean, I agree. I was happy to see it. We got the GGs. I mean, if they don't block with Bowmaster, I just play Brazen Borrower and they're still in a bunch of trouble. But, I mean, obviously Null Drifter's way worse for them than Brazen Borrower is. Sweet. All right. We remain undefeated. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the play in round number 4. I'm going to keep this hand. It's got a turn 3 Dreadnought and some spells to cast otherwise. Put them all to 5. Given the metagame right now, anytime my opponent mulligans, I assume they're a filthy combo player and I'm about to get oopsed. Oh, Ursa's Tower. That's a lot worse than what I was worried about. For them, it's great for me. Misty Rainforest. Okay. I have the option to wasteland them or develop a Dreadnought and wasteland them next turn. This does run the risk of them resolving something like the One Ring. I think I'm just going to wasteland them. They're on the mull to 5. I'd like to make them stumble if I can. Doorkeeper Thrall does make it so the ring doesn't give them protection, but I wouldn't be attacking them next turn anyway. Okay, I'm going to pass, and it's Dreadnought time. All right, Saga, Workshop. This is 2 mana. Grim Monolith. That's now 3 mana. 4 mana. Remember when I wastelanded them so they wouldn't have 4 mana? All right, well, I'm going to stuff protection, at least. But we might be dead here. All right, no protection. You can draw a card, but I still get to attack you. I think that's a fair deal. My own Saga, fun. Okay. Saga, Dreadnought. And I'm going to Petty Theft this One Ring. It's kind of the only thing they have going on, and I don't want them doing much more with it. And they don't have 4 mana to replay it, showing. And they won't get protection if they do. We're kind of by the skin of our ass here, but like there's draws they could have that rip this open, and there's draws that don't. This is only 3 mana because they don't have Metalcraft. It would quickly become a lot more if they did. All right, they do have Metalcraft. This is now 6 mana they have. 1 ring, 2 unknowns in the grip. Ugh! Kozilek's Command is horseshit. All right, and they get to replay the One Ring. All right, bad news, everybody. We might be cooked. I needed that to work. All right, Saga ticks up. Prismatic Ending. Not doing a lot right now. Swords to Plowshares is one of my outs this game. I think my plan here is to just attack and pass. I can drop in Brazen Borrower or make a construct in the end step. I can plow a Glaring Fleshraker if I have to. They're making constructs, okay. I'm not going to fetch in response to them tutoring. They're not going to get Pithy Neuter here. They're going to get the One Ring, or Manifold Cube to go with their One Ring. Another Urza's Workshop. Remember that Wasteland? That was a waste, but of energy. Right, they've drawn a gajillion. They're showing 6 mana right now. This is why I didn't brainstorm. Swords to Plowshares, this Fleshraker before it rakes all my flesh off. They have 5 mana right now. Candelabra. Now they have 6, 7, 8 mana. No, it's 9. It's more than that, because they can use Opal to get an extra on tap. Yep. 9, 10 mana. Okay, Karn. can get some shit that is bad for me. But I don't think I can afford to wish for, or brainstorm for Force of Will. Paradox Engine. All right, well, now I can't afford not to. All right, shit. I tried, team. I tried so hard. You saw it. Okay. I did end up with Force Blue card. Perhaps too late. But here it is. Lotus Petal. Yeah, I would have instantly lost. Did I put Prismatic Ending on top? I hope so, and not Plow. Well done, me. Okay, do I want a Construct? Is it helpful? I'm almost dead to Karn here. Not all the way dead. Would I rather have Brazen Borrower in play or a 2/2? I think I'd rather have Brazen Borrower in play. Okay, so I'll fetch Tundra, float mana, tutor Phyrexian Dreadnought, cast Brazen Borrower, Prismatic End the Construct. Wait, 9/9 doesn't actually beat me though. Maybe I'm supposed to Prismatic End the Manifold Key. Yeah, I just have a bigger creature than a 9/9, and it's about to become 8/8. And I'll attack Karn for 1, so if they use it, it's dead. Okay, I'm all in. I got a lot of damage on the board. We'll see. Kozilek's Command ices me, and they can draw 4 or 5 cards this turn. Planar Nexus, that's worth a ton of mana on this board. It's +1 to each of the workshops, and each of the workshops can tap twice from Candelabra. Whatever those 6 cards in their hand are, they can definitely cast them. Kozilek's Command. Ooh, didn't exile my Dreadnought. That's terrifying. Paradox Engine. Oh, okay. They just had... Oh, they used it to... They used Kozilek's Command to exile the 1 of Engine from the graveyard, and from exile, they can wish for it with Karn. Sweet play. All right. I trust that you can draw your deck here. GG. Meddling Mage. Consigned to Memory. Force of Negation. Clarion Conqueror, Wrath of the Skies. Coming out is Swords to Plowshares. A bunch of them. Ghost Vacuum. Soul Guide Lantern. Grafdigger's Cage is incidental against Mystic Forge, but that's the worst of their payoffs. I think I'm just going to be on 0 non-Dreadnought bullets to tutor with Saga. I like Uro just fine. Stifle is not without text, but it's also not great. I can go -1 of those. Null Drifter versus Uro is interesting. Uro is blue for my 5 forces, and Null Drifter is not. I think I'm just going to back off one of these threats. Oh, Minor Misstep. No, they have all the keys. Yeah, I like that. Narset should come in too. One Ring is a big part of their plan. Yeah, I think I actually am going to cut Minor Misstep. I have so many other answers to keys now. Okay, here we go. Ugh. I'm going to keep... I guess this isn't that bad. I have Force Blue card and 1 land unlocks Dreadnought Beats. And if I find 2 lands, Clarion Conqueror will end the game on the spot. Alright, well, we need lands. Cantrips are also viable redraws. A blue card lets me tread water a little longer. They've mulled to 5, but that didn't stop them last game. Tundra, pass. Urza's Tower. You won't trick me into wastelanding at this game. Candlestick. Land. Shit. Well, it's a blue card. This is the water that I signed up to tread. Glaring Fleshraker. I think I have to let them have this. This is not the scariest card in their deck. If it pings me for like 2 and then attacks me a couple turns, we live with that. Come on, deck. Land. No! Shit. All right, well, passing the turn. I'm going to discard a Dreadnought. Saga. Dress Down will deal with that if I ever have a land. The Candelabra can actually make multiple constructs in a turn. Pretty messed up. Big draws. Brainstorm. Send it. Find a land, you coward. All right, we did it. Wrath of the Skies. Look at all the good cards in my deck. All right, we just had to get a chance to draw them. Okay. I can Thrall plus Dreadnought all next turn. I could also jam Clarion Conqueror next turn. That's probably better. Dreadnought, Thrall, back it up. Savannah, go in. Yeah, I think my plan here is just not Dreadnought related at this point. Saga's terrifying. The One Ring. Force pitching Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Now I think I should just slam Clarion Conqueror. I kept the Thrall. I'm shuffling the Dreadnought. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to get Tropical Island, and I have to think about this. If I Wrath for 0 right now, my opponent loses 1, 2, or Wrath for 1. They lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 permanents. but they do still have the Fleshraker. If I play Clarion Conqueror, they can make a construct in response who is 1, 2, 3, 4. They can make a 4/4, make another one 5/5 tutor 6/6, but they can't use that stuff. I take a massive hit. I think I have to Wrath here. I don't think I can afford what if their hand is Kozilek's Command right now. They're untapping their Urza's Tower. Oh, their hand is Kozilek's Command. Oh, I have freaking Force of Will. I think I was okay. That might have been a mistake. Okay, so they have 4 mana. This trigger happens. I can't stop it. They chose Scry X make X jerks. So if they make 4 jerks, they can... I go to 7, and they fix their draw a little bit, but I do still have the force. If I force this, I go to 7, they attack for 2, that's 5. Okay. They lose the Eldrazi immediately, though, because of the Wrath. This is really interesting. Would I rather they... Alright, I think I'm just going to put them in proper top deck mode. Force pitch the dress down, kill everything except Glaring Fleshraker, pass the turn, hope my 3/3 can beat their 2/2. Like right now, if they slam some bullshit, we're in trouble. But Conqueror, okay, sweet. They have a lot of natural mana, which I don't love. Alright, now I rule the battlefield. Spawns can't be sacrificed, but they are still generated. Just don't draw Kozilek's Command. Alright, the One Ring. That deals 1 to me and then doesn't work. Consigned to Memory, let's go. That's a card I like. Ponder. Wasteland on Planar Nexus puts them in the trash. Okay, Trop, Doorkeeper Thrall, Wasteland, don't shuffle, waste your Planar Nexus. That rips up a ton of the mana that they had access to a moment ago. All right, my plan is to chip shot them to death with Doorkeeper Thrall while trying not to die to Glaring Fleshraker. There's another Thrall on top of my deck. Then there is... What the hell? Kozilek's Command for 0. Okay, that's fine. They ping me for 1 and then scry 1 and... Or scry 0, draw a card. Just draw a card. That's fine. I'm glad I wastelanded them, or else that Kozilek's Command would have killed me. Alright, we're pushing damage now. Get in there. My next draw is Tropical Island, which is not great, but if I can deal 19 damage before they can cast 6 spells, that's really what this game's about. Oh wait, this doesn't even work anymore. Fleshraker. Yeah, that doesn't even trigger. No, we're fine. Alright, cool. I am completely off the hook. I can counter a Kozilek's Command, which I think is the only card they play that I care about. Oh, Ugin. 3, 4, 5. They only have 5 mana. They're kind of far away from Ugin, but I guess Ancient Tomb gets them there. Mystic Forge, that doesn't work. They can see the top card of their deck, but they can't clear it. Oh, they can cast stuff, though. Alright, yeah. I think that's fine. It has to be fine, because it's already happened. Ancient Tomb from hand. Ooh. Second Fleshraker. Is this where I want to put my energy? They've used 2 Kozilek's Commands already. Yeah, I guess I will counter this. Alright, deck. Good cards. Big hits. That's not it. I'm going to save that now for Brainstorm and hope I don't die to this Mystic Forge that I let resolve. Just don't find one of the other 2 Kozilek Commands, and we'll be getting along just fine. Oh my god, they're paying mana into an X spell. I hate Magic the Gathering. And those were just the top 2 cards, like Mystic Forge hit Fleshraker into Kozilek's Command. I guess if I had waited, or if I had countered the Mystic Forge, we would have had to deal with these one at a time instead of quickly. But that was basically just multiple Vampiric Tutors. Speaking of which, I rescind my earlier complaints. Clarion Conqueror. Alright, all I could do is keep slugging it out. Now their One Ring hurts them. The clock has shifted. Right, they're down to 7. They're dead in 2 turns. Don't play the 4th Kozilek's Command. You jag off. 5 mana in the pool. Do not start reducing this like you're paying into an X spell. I'll lose my shit. Oh my god! Are you kidding? How many of these do you play? Let me see your deck list. Judge. one card in their entire deck matters. They have all of them in the top 13 cards. 23 cards, I guess. It's an outrage. Yeah, they could probably cast their deck here. Probably was correct to counter the Mystic Forge, but that requires predicting that the top 3 cards of their deck are just the perfect 3 cards. One ring. They no longer lose life, but they don't get protection. And multiple keys to just shred through. Remember the time that I locked out everything they had and then also wrath their entire board? That was this game. Karn. This probably has something that kills me. Well, I guess let's see it. Oh, Walking Ballista. Yeah, that certainly does it. All right. They found the line. All right, well, maybe I'm supposed to counter Mystic Forge there, but at the time, Mystic Forge, I don't know. That was worth a couple cards, but those cards had to be the nuts. Maybe I'm supposed to ignore Glaring Fleshraker and just stop attacking and keep Consign to Memory in my hand. Maybe a Kozilek's Command, the 4th one, could have just been in like the bottom third of their deck. All right, it's fine. It's fine. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in the final round. Bread and butter 4-1 on the line. Have to mulligan this. There's no mana. I'm playing against First Revenge, who has submitted a few decks to this channel, and they're always fair blue Stone Blade decks. I'm going to bottom Trop and keep the spells. We got another hi YouTube. Very friendly league today. Everyone say hi to First Revenge. Let's see if there's a Stoneforge Mystic in my future. If there is, I'm ready for it. Doorkeeper Thrall gets that pretty good. Prismatic Vista, okay. That lends itself to Jeskai Fair decks. I am not going to brainstorm now. If I just draw a land, I'll be fine with it. Sick. All right. All right, fetching some basics. The Prismatic Vista deck, unsurprised that they can fetch another basic. 2 islands. Didn't get a plains. Are we going to get mono blue back to basics? Counterbalance, fascinating. How worried about that am I? I think I'm going to brainstorm here. Uro, quite good. Land drops, quite good. I'm going to put back Tundra and Swords to Plowshares here. And then flash in Doorkeeper Thrall. Savannah, Thrall. I'm just going to do this before they can high roll some counter nonsense. This is open to Plow, Daze, whatever they got, but that's fine. I don't have the important one on the other side. I'm going to fetch this basic island. I'm going to attack first. If they do have a Plow to mess up this sticky Uro, I'd rather get my attack through. And because Uro doesn't trigger on entry here, they might just Plow the Uro. Swords to Plowshares revealed. Fetched it away. All right. Must have one already. Okay, cool. So now I actually get paid off the Uro in the old school, traditional way, which I'm fine with. Uro's still a good magic card. We're getting sent back to basics. Narset. She's pretty good. They do have awkward mana. They only have white up right now. B-Skull. I'm pretty good against that card. I think I'm just going to go to my turn. Dreadnought. Okay. I don't get a card off Dress Down if I play it right now. I could fetch and Wasteland my own Wasteland and just cast Uro. Wasteland might not have a lot of hits here. Drop. Wasteland. Come on, you asshole, Magic Online. I did not mean to Wasteland my other Wasteland. You don't have to do that. Well, I'm down a land, just for misclick reasons. Surely that won't matter. Right, they revealed a Ponder. I gain 3 life, but I don't draw a card. If I get dazed here, I'm quitting Magic. I'm just letting you know. All right. Gain 3 life, don't draw a card. Snap Plow. All right. 2 plows down, no cards drawn. Brazen Borrower is really good against Batterskull. Ponder can set up counterbalance for the next couple turns, but not if they want to activate Narset. If they have Days Undoing, I just lose. Back to basics, pretty solid here. Would be nice to have an extra 1 mana laying around to Petty Theft that. Alright, I could still Petty Theft that. Jace the Mind Sculptor, fucked up. Stoneforge Mystic resolves. Cryptic Coat, tutored. Alright, I'm going to Petty Theft back to basics in a YOLO swing here to try to do anything this game. Brainstorm, any 2-drop in their 8 cards they're looking at counter this now. They did not reveal. All right, I get a turn with mana. 2 Dreadnoughts. If they have a 1 on top, I get 0 Dreadnoughts. I think I'm going to pass here. I could use Brazen Borrower to pressure them. Brazen Borrower plus Dress Down is a sequence. All right, activating Stoneforge Mystic. Second main. Batterskull's in. End of turn, Brazen Borrower. I think it's more likely they have Spell Pierce than any other counter spell. So I'm actually going to Dress Down first because I want to do both of these things. Brainstorm. They either didn't have or chose not to use a 2-drop last turn. All right, they suddenly have one. Brazen Borrower, get in there. Stifle. That card plays. I'm going to attack Narset. I know they're holding Jace, though. They can just bounce my Dreadnought. All right, I have to wait. I can't actually do this. Losing the damage race. I've already committed my Brazen Borrower. That was supposed to be earmarked for the Germ token. Back to basics comes in. All right, I can outwin this game. To the sideboard we go. I really don't have much for them. Narset them back is reasonable. Veil of Summer can push through Counterbalance or something. Ghost Vacuum doesn't matter. I like most of my deck, though. Stifle has some action against them. If they're relying on basic lands to be stable, that's something that can mess it up. I think I'm going to shave 1 Swords to Plowshares. I know they have creatures, but I can't flood out on those, can't afford it. I really don't want to have Force of Negation in my deck, but it might be necessary here. What if I shave another Swords to Plowshares? Between the Thrall's Dress Down, Stifles, and Endings, hopefully that can control, and Brazen Borrowers, I hope we can control Stoneforge Mystic, but there's other problems going on. I didn't lose that game to Stoneforge Mystic. I lost it to Back to Basics and Jace the Mind Sculptor. Minor Misstep seems great. All right, I'm going 1 Plow. On the play, we're leaning all the way in here. I'm leaving Soul Guide Lantern in because we both saw Snapcaster Mage and I need some sort of tutor. All right, I'm going to keep. It needs a second land, but it's got a quick Dreadnought. And I can beat up on fetch lands, which would be great. Island. Come on, land. Null Drifter shit. All right, opponent knows I have a 1-lander. Fetch, 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 fetch. All right, come on, land. I hate you, deck. All right, I'm going to go to my end step. They might still fetch in my end step. Brainstorm. Might not have to discard here if I can stifle this fetch. I will just discard Uro, though, if it comes to that. Ka-chow. Hope you needed that. This was my whole plan. Force pitching Jace. Okay, they clearly need this. Force pitching Uro. Force pitching Dress Down. Force pitching Borrower. Force pitching Force. It's not force pitching Force, because I might need this game to last a little longer. I think it's Uro. Uro's just so far away from doing anything. Dress Down turns on the Dreadnought or the Null Drifter. Oh yeah. Opponent's missing land drops now too, and they're Brainstorm locked. All right, speaking of Brainstorm locked. Set me free. We're in there. Okay. I'm going to put away Null Drifter and Ponder. Is that how I want to do this? Null Drifter, Ponder, go back. My plan is not to fetch here. Brainstorm. Okay. We have similar plans at this point. Okay, they found a land. I am going to draw Ponder. Then I'm going to fetch. I think I'm going to fetch Tundra and then cast Ponder off of Tundra. All right, they're fetching in response. Tundra, Ponder. Trying to hit my land drops. There's one. How much mana am I going to need next turn versus having extra Force of Will? Okay. I'll put Savannah in my hand, Force of Will on top. I'm trying to set up a super protected Dreadnought, probably 2 turns from now. I don't need to go for this Dress Down right now. If I can protect Dress Down next turn with Veil of Summer, that lets me leave all my Gripful of Forces here. Because I can Force of Swords to Plowshares, I can't Veil it. Okay, they're about to start going to cleanup. I'm actually going to let them go to cleanup here. Because I know I'm hitting my land drop, and as long as I'm moving forward and they're not, that's a good deal for me. Now I feel silly for pitching that Uro so long ago. Who knew it would play out like this? All right, you can clean up over there, discarding another card. Discarding answers to Dreadnought's pretty fucked up. I'm not going to lie. Okay, 7 cards in my hand. I'll pass. Stoneforge Mystic. I'm ready for that one. I have my 1 of Swords to Plowshares. And this is funny because if they tutor, they have to go to discard. They grabbed Batterskull. End step, Swords to Plowshares. Plows to Plowshares. I hope they force this. They did not. All right. I'm going to dress down here. It's time to turn this corner. They did have a force. Force pitching Cryptic Coat. Veil of Summer from the top rope. Dress down's in. Another card for me. Come on, bonus Dreadnought. Saga, I'll take it. Saga. Play a Dreadnought. Double force to protect it. I am relying on this single basic planes right now. The basic land mana base is really powerful at not getting wastelanded, but it's very bad at casting 2 spells if you need to. Yeah, okay, sweet. Cheesed out by Stifle. And now they know about Stifle. They'll probably play around it, but I'm still leaving it in. Veil of Summer. Let me manipulate that spot. On the draw, the extra force is even more important. On the play, they could shove Stoneforge more aggressively. I think I have to be okay with that. I don't think I want any of these other cards in my deck. The next thing I would do here is shave a Dreadnought, which I don't think I want to actually do. If there was a card so good in my sideboard that it would make sense to bring in, like a Carpet of Flowers or something, I would shave the Dreadnought. But there's not, so I'm just going to focus on getting my big threat into play. Okay, I like that I have 2 lands, a spread of options here. Probably see a fetch right here in the main phase, yep. Losing to Stifle in 2025 is a tough beat. Okay, they don't have Wasteland. They do have Back to Basics, but not this turn. All right, I'm going to Tundra Ponder. Force of Negation is probably good. The 3rd land. Do I want the 3rd land? I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to draw Force of Negation right now. Pass the turn. What I'm going to try to do here is shove 2 Dreadnoughts into play on turn 3 and hope that they get over the finish line. A fetch. All right, they did not jam the Bully Stoneforge. For that, I am happy. Okay, end step. They did not play a land or a spell here. I'm going to get Tropical Island and ignore Back to Basics. Dress down. Please Force of Will this. Show weakness. All right, we got to dress down. Hit my land. Soul Guide Lantern. I think I should Ponder here, because if I could find Force of Will, this gets so much better. All right, Ponder. 2 lands and Uro. I don't want any of those. Shuffle. Wasteland. It's not really what I want, but okay. Phyrexian Dreadnought. Phyrexian Dreadnought. While this Force of Negation doesn't help me push this Dreadnought through Swords to Plowshares right now, it does stop them from... Oh, interesting. So they must have a Plow also, if they weren't worried about that. Yeah, okay. All right, Consign to Memory. The Force would have stopped Wrath of the Skies or something like that from killing me here, and if they jam Back to Basics or Narset, I probably just got to counter it. Yep. All right, counter this with Brazen Borrower. If they force me back, I'm probably dead. All right, Force Pitching to Fairy. Okay. 3 interactive spells into the Game Breaker. We'll see if I could grind through it. Brainstorm. Volcanic Island. Awkward. It is both not a shuffle and it is a non-basic. Urza's Saga, huh? Let's get that ticking. That's a way out of this. It's a fairy. That's pretty bad against Urza's Saga. Yep. All right, that's back in my hand. Another non-basic. Suddenly their deck's full of them. Saga. I can access my basic island here. Plus to fairy. Back up Back to Basics. That's fine. I had no intentions of removing the first one. Now I have to actually think, do I want to brainstorm here and try to hit... Dress Down won't help me. I need Doorkeeper Thrall. So I actually do want to brainstorm here off of my basic. Because that puts the Soul Guide Lantern back into my deck as well. If I miss here. Oh yeah, we did it all. All right, Soul Guide Lantern, go back. Tropical Island on top. Doorkeeper Thrall, I'm all in. If their hand is bad, this Dreadnought could do it. Teferi can bounce it the turn after the Dreadnought comes in, but Teferi will be gone then. Or I could actually stifle that because the Teferi will die on the minus. That's interesting. All right, Saga triggers. Do they have a Plow for Doorkeeper right now? Prismatic Ending as an instant, that's a legal play because of Teferi. Alright, Soul Guide Lantern. Get rid of, I guess, Consigned to Memory. Mostly doesn't matter. I think what I want to do here is play Wasteland as a mana source that I can live without. If I need to draw a card off Soul Guide Lantern at some point. Teferi does that. They have a win condition now. That's what I was trying to fade. Swords to Plowshares. My white lands are all frozen. Alright, I'm going to draw a card. Ponder. Well, the Thrall Saga business is back in, but I don't have white sources to do it. Alright, I'm not going to beat this back to basics. They did it. Okay, a positive record with Uro-Dreadnought. I like the double graveyard hitter in the main deck. I do like that those are my 2 bullets. We're not a very good Urza Saga deck, which is why there's only 2, and with 4 dress downs, you can't be making constructs all the time. This feels like a good balance, also borrowed from Harane's current list. Uro mattered a number of times. That mono-black matchup, I think Uro and the Veil of Summer, the Green Splash in general, just dominated that. I do wonder if we want another Null Drifter. I'm not sure where we'd go, maybe over a Brazen Borrower, but having 8 enablers in the deck, or 10 if we count Stifle, but Stifle can do other stuff, but Dress Down and Doorkeeper Thrall really only shove monsters, and we only have 5 monsters that really care about it. Uro could take it or leave it, honestly. But maybe having 6 payoffs to go with our 8 things, plus Uro, that makes it 8 and 8, where Uro is kind of the bridge. We could cut a Wasteland for a basic Plains, and if that's something we're worried about, like being more stable versus Wasteland matchups, and Back to Basics is not a card in the current metagame, but there are people playing it. I know. I mean, we just played against it, and streamer Be Excellent has been playing a Dimir control mid-range cut in a deck with Back to Basics available. That thing's been getting some traction. I think one of the Wastelands could afford to be a Plains. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy with how this went. Emily, I hope this gets your creative juices going and dust off the Dreadnoughts off your shelf. Play some Legacy again. If you didn't like this build, check out Harane's content. He's got a different build that's very different than this. Uses Ancient Tomb and Torpor Orb and Stock Up to really crank him out. This is more the mid-range classic Bant that can also Dreadnought shell. Multiple viable options out there for Phyrexian Dreadnought gamers. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon to support the channel, and I'll see you next time.